My name is Insane Raven. I am back with another episode of Letters from the Field. I am extremely tired and extremely stressed, so mind the manicness of this vlog. This was an interesting week because I actually went out and hung out with people, which is something I don't do. I don't go out and talk to people, and it's really because I don't trust people and I don't have time to form relationships. Between the channel, schoolwork, and both jobs, I'm going to the gym now 3 times a week. I just don't have a lot of time to unless I push it aside and I'm like, no, I'm going to hang out with XYZ people today. I don't spend a lot of time with people, which is whatever. But Tuesday night, and it's been going on for like a week now. Me and this coworker, we'll call them L. Yes, I've been reading Death Note. Um, so Elle has been like, hey, I want to go to trivia nights. And there's this coffee bar that we can go to that has trivia nights. And I've been dying to go to trivia night, and my boyfriend keeps forgetting about trivia night. So I'm dragging him, and I'm dragging one of his friends along for trivia night. But we need a fourth person for our team. Can you join? I'm like, you know what? Fine. I know about it in advance. I'll do it. Whatever. So we get to this coffee bar, and I show up early. Like, stupidly early. And by stupidly early, I mean 10 minutes early, and I'm sitting by myself in this coffee bar. And, by all accounts, they have forgotten about trivia nights, because it is now, 20 minutes past when trivia night was supposed to start, and I'm the only one here for trivia night. And I'm not saying that in a joking manner. I'm literally the only one here for trivia night in this entire place. Come to find out that because so few people were here, they actually don't do trivia night unless they have enough teams. They have enough people for 4 teams. And we didn't have enough people for 4 teams that were interested in doing trivia night. So trivia night got canceled. Okay, not a big deal. Shit happens. So naturally the next thing that kind of happened and goes along with that is that we just start talking and hanging out. And it was to the point where we were all kind of getting to know each other, and we were kind of admitting things, and we were just hanging out and having a good time. Because I haven't hung out with any of these people. With 2 of these people, I've seen once. This one guy is his boyfriend, and I've hung out with him once because of an event from work. This other guy I've never seen before, and it's L, who I've only hung out with at work, and I've just jumped off the thing. So yeah, not typically people I hang out with. So we're kind of getting to know each other outside of work and kind of talking and hanging out and all this other shit. We're having a great time, and it was just one of these things. It's like, oh, this is what having quote unquote normal friends are like. You know, L's boyfriend is military, ex-military, so he has that haha, Americanism vibe to him. I just died again. And then you have L, who's just hanging out and being L. And then you have Trey, who is this hyper gamer, and we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, and we're, getting excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 and what everything might mean for the series and all this other shit and everything, and it's amazing. And then we all left. We finished up our shit, and we left. Which I thought was great. It was like, okay, we had drinks, and we hung out. We were friendly. We exhibited the behaviors of friendship. Let's go. And that was good. It was a good time. It was a fun time. It was a time that I was happy we spent. And then this was also after the same day I had a test which I wasn't hyped for. And it was the same day after another test that I had to take. So there was a lot of test taking this week, because they just naturally happened to fall on the same kind of day, which is just aggravating. Like, it's not a good time, essentially. It's not a good time when that kind of happens. So that was frustrating to kind of walk out of. Then Wednesday happened without incident, and Thursday. So let me tell you about Thursday. So there's been this really cute girl in my math class, and she is regrettably exactly my type, and we're vibing and we're hanging out and we're having a good old time. And we both walk into our Thursday class late. Like, we are about 5 to 10 minutes late. So it's a bit of a problem. And we get to the door just in time to see that there's been a note posted on the door that says, "Sorry, class is canceled. Please go online for the lesson, but class today has been canceled." And we're like, okay, I wish there would have been an online notice of some sorts, or just something, excuse me for the toots, or just something that was like, oh yeah, you could have known about this ahead of time, type thing, which there was none. Which there was no such thing for. So that was fun. But I'm pissed off. I didn't even want to go to this class to begin with. So I'm annoyed. I'm agitated. I'm holding my coffee because I woke up late. And I look at this girl who I've arguably had a crush on since the first day of a class. And I'm like, "You want to go out for coffee?" He said while holding a brand new cup of coffee. And she looks at me and she kind of like half laughs. And she goes, "Sure, I'll go out for coffee." So we drive over to Starbucks, like gentlemen's. Like, we're sophisticated people. We know each other, and it occurred to me that this is the closest thing to a date I've been on in like a year and a half, which, depending on how you view that, may be really sad or maybe really adorable. I'm not sure. So we go over to Starbucks, and she starts ordering her stuff, and she starts paying for her stuff, and I'm like, no. I invited you out. I'm paying for you. And she starts to get her card out. She starts to pay for it. And I take her card out of her hand, and I swipe my card instead. I order my thing, swipe my card, give her back her card. I'm like, "I asked you to come out. I'm paying for your drink." And she goes, "You don't have to do that." I'm like, "I know, but chivalry ain't dead today. Maybe tomorrow." And then we start talking to the cashier, and I don't know how, but Beetlejuice got brought up. Now, if you don't know, Beetlejuice is one of my all-time favorite movies. Like, everything about it's fun. I love Beetlejuice as a character. I love Winona Ryder. Like, I love everything about these movies. So not only am I having a great conversation with the cashier, but now math class girl is over here like, "Yeah, I love this," like, and she's throwing in stuff too, and I'm like, oh my god, she likes Beetlejuice. She knows what Beetlejuice is, and she likes Beetlejuice. This is gonna be a problem. So we then we get our drinks, we're hanging out. She gets her bagel, then we sit down and we're just hanging out at the table. And we start talking. We ended up talking for like an hour and a half, and we basically spent class together, just talking and getting to know each other. And it's sort of the end of the date, the mock date. Well, at this point, like, I've commented on how her socks are cute, and we're talking about how, like, her Stegosaurus family socks always get divorced because they're never together. And I'm like, that's fine. Maybe the Stegosaurus wanted some watermelon or pineapple. You don't know. diversity, and it's this amazing conversation. I'm like, this went really well, and I wouldn't call this a date, and that she called it a date, but this is an amazing way to start a possible relationship. And it's towards the end of this 90-minute time period where she goes, yeah, and I think that getting into relationships is really difficult. And that's why I'm so lucky and so happy that I met my boyfriend at a punk rock concert. And something might have shown on my face. Because at this point, like, we were talking about how she hates going to work because all these guys try to hit on her and all this other shit. And how she doesn't have many friends because these guys try to hit on her, that type of thing. And people tend to fall in love with her. Which, I mean, these are all warning signs of, hey, maybe this person's a little self-absorbed and we don't want to get into this relationship type thing. But I'm ignoring those for the most part. But then she says she has a boyfriend at the end of this 90-minute period. And I tried very hard not to let, like, my face show any emotion. I'm just like, oh yeah, that must be a really great, meeting story type thing. And she goes, it is. And then her eyes light up, and she's telling me all about how she was holding up a sign because the sign started falling on her as her friend, like, dragged this guy over to meet her, and she's freaking out. And I'm just like, you have a boyfriend. Why do you have a boyfriend? And it was kind of just crushing in the moment. It's like, oh, I paid for your bagel, for your drinks, and you're taken. And then, as we're kind of like talking about how she has a boyfriend and how it sucks that people end up falling in love with her, I noticed there was some pollen in her hair. And of course, because I can't be a normal human being, because that'd be boring. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to hit on you, put any moves on you. I don't want this to be misconstrued, but you have something in your hair, and it's bothering me. So I'm going to take it out of your hair for you. Because if I don't, it's just gonna bother me more. And I can't have that. And she goes, oh, okay. And I take the pollen out of her hair. And as I do it, I kind of have to, like, tuck her hair behind her ear to kind of get at it. Which just seemed like such a stereotypical, like, move to do. And she kind of, like, she sort of, like, looked down and then looked up to me, and then, like, gave me this eye, like, what you doing, Willis? Type thing. And, it's understandable. Like, you shouldn't trust someone you just met, type thing. It's an understandable reaction. But I don't know. There was something about the way she like, her initial response. There's something about that initial response that, like, I have hope in, which is weird to say. I'm like, I'm not going to actively try to take this girl away from her current relationship. I would never do that, especially after what happened with my other relationship. I'd never want to put someone in that position, type thing. But it's just something I found odd. So yeah. So in summary, if you want to date like me, be annoyed at the world, and then ask out a girl for a drink, even if you're currently drinking that drink, and just don't give a single fuck on whether or not it goes well. And I think that last bit is probably the most crucial, because I was not in a place to, I'm not going to say handle rejection. I was not in a place to care if I got rejected. Just because I just didn't want to go to class and I was annoyed. So whenever that tells you, feel free to postulate in the comment section down below But yeah, so that was pretty much that. I've been working both jobs since Friday. I'm exhausted. I just came from a meeting from my second job. A 2-hour meeting, which was supposed to be a 90-minute meeting, which I didn't give a shit about. You ever, like, I understand why we do these meetings. I understand that there are certain things they would like us to know and to cover. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a single fuck about it, actually. And the fact that I sat there for 2 hours, forgetting to clock in, because I was in such a bad mood, because I have to go back in a 90 minutes. I have to clock back in to do my actual shift for the day. I was just in a not good place. Not good place today. So throw in that with the fact that I have to do some schoolwork later today. And I'm working on a project for the third year anniversary of the channel. Because I've now created a twisted, almost tradition to reveal a new show every anniversary, because I hate myself. I want to kind of go into that, and I want to, have something to show for that day. When that day comes, so I am working on a little side project. But yeah, that's about it for this week. I'm excruciatingly tired, and I'm going to continue to grow tired and grow old until I die. So I'm working on projects. I'm working on class. I've gone to the gym this week, which is also something amazing, and I kind of wanted to go into that, but I'll leave that for next week, because there's stuff I can talk about there as well, which is could be a really fun time. So I'm gonna talk about that in the next Let Off from the Field, if I remember, which I will remember because it's important that I remember, and other stuff. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Insane Raven, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.